I think we actually might have just seen the worst call in the entire history of sport. And like, this is a shock that it is actually not DiJonai Carrington committing a flagrant foul. DiJonai Carrington got flagrantly fouled.
Have you ever watched a single whistle reverse gravity? Picture this. 92 seconds left, Dallas Wings clawing for a comeback, the Golden State Valkyries clinging to a thread, and DiJonai Carrington, the league's most controversial defender, gets steamrolled from behind. Instead of awarding free throws, the refs slap her with the foul. Fans in the arena don't boo. They roar with approval as though the cosmos finally balanced a lopsided scale. What happened next turned one bad call into a referendum on reputation, justice, and the very integrity of WNBA basketball. Stick around, because by the end of this story, you'll understand why some people cheered harder for karma than they ever did for their own team's scoreboard.
DiJonai, DiJonai, you're always in a dirty play. DiJonai, DiJonai, once again, here we are today. Oh, DiJonai, DiJonai.
Rewind the tape to precisely 1:32 on the game clock. The rebound clangs high, the crowd inhales, and Carrington's basketball IQ, often overshadowed by her reputation, shines through. She wisely lets the ball drift toward the line, shielding it with her frame. Hayes, eyes blazing with last-ditch urgency, never modulates her speed. Viewers at home see a collision in real time. Slow motion later reveals a textbook over-the-back foul, the sort coaches show in youth clinics as exactly what not to do. Yet in the split-second blur of whistles and hand signals, the officials flip the script.
Face does not look nor play like she's 35. Okay, she be bringing it to them girls each and every night. She got that, acting like that face harness, okay, like to protect her face, her eyes, her nose, whatever that is. She be look like a dominatrix to me. I'd be like, bro, who is that? She looks like it's giving scarecrow. Or like a black raven vibe, okay, like a hawk. And she looks like a bird of prey, okay? And that's how she plays. She plays like a bird of prey, while the other girls on the court are just worms to her, okay? They are bird food, because she be cooking and eating everybody.
Carrington, flat on her back, tilts her head in stunned disbelief, while Hayes pops up like a superhero after demolishing a villain. The call gives Golden State the ball, flips momentum, and plants the seed for one of the most puzzling officiating decisions of the season. But the bigger quake is psychological. The crowd's first instinct isn't sympathy for the fallen, but wild approval, as if cosmic justice finally crashed the party.
And was able to draw a foul. I'm like, what is this? I mean, she almost deleted freaking DiJonai. I thought, like, I was really gravely concerned for DiJonai Carrington's life and health. I'm like, did y'all not just see Tiffany Hayes just throw her body up against her and slam her to the ground? This is crazy. Literally slammed her. DiJonai Carrington got pushed into a freaking old white man's lap because of Tiffany Hayes jumping on her like she ain't got no sense.
Ordinarily, sports fans treat blown calls like personal insults, flooding comment sections, bombarding league offices, demanding accountability. This time, the outcry morphs into celebration. Within minutes, instant karma trends across X, Instagram Reels remix the collision to comedic soundtracks, and TikTok creators post side-by-side reactions of rival fanbases cackling in sync. Analysts on Late Night Highlight shows abandon their usual measured tones, quipping that Carrington should frame the whistle as proof the basketball gods do exist.
But this was something where people are saying, okay, DiJonai, this is happening a little bit too much for my liking. These hard fouls, these reckless plays are happening a little bit too much. And I want to show you guys one more play that was also in that game that actually injured Gabby Williams. Now, if you watch here, Gabby Williams is going up for a little mid-range jumper. DiJonai jumps to try to block her, and she comes down to where Gabby Williams doesn't have enough landing space. So she lands in her landing space, and then Gabby Williams rolls her ankle.
The phenomenon exposes a raw truth. Carrington's catalog of eyebrow-raising plays, eye pokes, hard closeouts, chippy jawing has burned through her goodwill. When the refs botch a call against her, many viewers feel vindicated, not appalled. It's less about disliking Carrington the person and more about a collective fatigue with what they perceive as her unchecked physicality. The cheer heard in that arena is really a sigh of relief. At last, the ledger feels balanced, even if the math is wrong.
So once again, DiJonai Ratchet, as Carrington is back at it again, being the dirty player There she is, man. So now we're pulling players to the floor by their hair. But what did we tweet earlier this week, everybody? Y'all fans swear I'm such a dirty player. I'm so over this narrative. But I just play hard as and I just make a play on the ball, and I'm tired of people calling me a dirty player.
To grasp why the applause felt cathartic, you must revisit the flashpoint that welded a villain mask to Carrington's public image. September 2024, nationally televised primetime clash, rookie sensation Caitlin Clark slicing through defenders like sonar until Carrington's forearm grazes Clark's eye, sending the league's new darling staggering. No flagrant, minimal outrage from the officials, and certainly no suspension.
Is this? Look, pulling players to the floor by their hair is not making plays on the ball. This is not basketball. WNBA. When is she gonna get fined, suspended, or kicked out of the league for this reckless behavior? This is the fourth incident. The Lynx incident, taking out Ariel Atkins, taking out Skylar Diggins, and now the LA Sparks. When is it gonna stop, man? When is accountability gonna be taken for her being the dirty player and ratchet that she is?
The clip loops endlessly, fans cry foul, yet the league stays quiet. From that moment, Carrington's every move is scrutinized under a harsher lens. Each subsequent questionable hit, Skylar Diggins-Smith decked mid-air, Gabby Williams landing awkwardly on an occupied landing zone, Ariel Atkins yanked by the ponytail, layers new sediment onto public resentment. When these incidents result in downgraded penalties or rescinded fines, the legend of DJing Dirty Play Carrington metastasizes. By the time the Valkyries matchup rolls around, the mere mention of her name in pregame chatter triggers eye rolls and memes predicting tonight's inevitable cheap shot.
Another referee calls. So one says it's Dallas ball. Another referee, as you can see right here. Salon miss. Valkyries rebound. Apparently Tiffany Hayes got the rebound. And DiJonai fouled Tiffany Hayes. Apparently,
basketball at its core promises that skill and hustle decide the outcome. Referees are merely stewards of that fairness. But when whistles appear selective or random, the scenic bridge between sport and theater starts to crack. Coaches this season have strategically tiptoed around post-game fines using coded language, inconsistent, confusing, needs review to mask their frustration.
Doesn't matter how many times DiJonai Carrington wants to get on her social media and want to claim that she's the victim and that she's not a dirty player. The league has rescinded fouls. Yeah, the league's rescinding flagrant fouls on you because it's run by a bunch of cowards. They're flagrant fouls. They're dirty plays. They're trashy plays. Someone's going to get very physically injured. At this point, DiJonai Carrington, forget about it. You won't beat these allegations.
Players exchange exasperated glances that broadcast, "Why bother sliding my feet if the call's a coin flip?" And fans, jaded by week-after-week anomalies, flirt with conspiracy theories about protected stars or quiet vendettas. The Carrington-Hayes call doesn't just add another pothole, it swallows the highway. In the court of public perception, the WNBA's officiating integrity, already on probation, now risks expulsion unless dramatic reforms appear. Sports science breaks the play down with merciless objectivity. Carrington's center of gravity is low, weight on her heels, arms relaxed, maximum stability. Hayes, generating full court speed, launches into a lower body collision that transmits momentum through Carrington's torso. If basketball followed physics alone, Hayes commits an over-the-back foul 99 times out of 100. But here, narrative overwhelms Newton. Viewers crave story arcs, heroes punished, villains humbled, and in that primal hunger, evidentiary details lose priority. The freeze frame that circulates most isn't the one illustrating body angles. It's Carrington's wide-eyed disbelief as the referee extends the index finger her way. That image validates months of frustration, allowing fans to exhale a long-held breath. Ironically, the more blatantly the call contradicts physics, the more poetic the justice feels to those convinced the league had been tilting in Carrington's favor for too long. Basketball outcomes often hinge on one or two critical moments, but rarely is the hinge so visibly attached to a single, controversial whistle. Dallas enters the game hovering at the cut line of postseason eligibility. A win swings probability algorithms north of 50%. After the phantom foul, the Valkyries inbound, swing through the weak side, and bury a corner triple, stretching their lead. Dallas, rattled, coughs up a turnover on the next trip, and momentum snowballs. Simulation models later reveal the call shaved nearly 30 percentage points off the Wings' playoff odds. That isn't just trivia. Player contracts include postseason bonuses, coaching staffs earn reputational capital, and front offices make roster decisions based on performance under pressure. All of it now gets filtered through the lens of an officiating error that mainstream viewers astonishingly welcomed. Within an hour, you can chart the digital aftershocks like seismograph spikes. A popular creator stitches the collision with a clip of a cartoon anvil flattening a coyote, overlaying text, "Physics called, says you're overdue." Another influencer syncs the whistle moment to a dramatic bass drop, labeling Hayes the Karma Courier. Even traditional beat reporters, normally reserved, pepper their timelines with sly references to cosmic justice. The online ecosystem, which usually unites to defend athletes from officiating blunders, splinters. One side applauds, the other cautions that cheering injustice invites bigger problems. But the louder voice, at least tonight, belongs to the chorus reveling in Carrington's misfortune, underscoring how thoroughly narrative has eclipsed rulebook logic. Contrast the eye poke saga with Caitlin Clark's reaction. She brushed off questions, praised Carrington's competitiveness, and buried 4 fourth-quarter threes en route to victory, transforming potential victimhood into legend. That stoic grace cultivated a reservoir of goodwill so deep that even rival fanbases respect her composure. Carrington, facing criticism, opted for cryptic social posts. "Y'all hate grit, watch me shine." Such swagger garners certain admirers but alienates many more. When you juxtapose Clark's humility with Carrington's defiance, the karmic overtone of the Hayes collision amplifies. Viewers subconsciously compare the two incidents, concluding the universe just closed a tab long left open. A quick scan of the league's penalty tracker shows a pattern of downgraded flagrants and modest fines, often linked to the same names. Critics argue that soft deterrents encourage players to push boundaries until something snaps. The Hayes-Carrington sequence feels like that snap, the moment when leniency's bill comes due. Had the league established firm guardrails earlier, perhaps Hayes doesn't barrel full speed into a stationary defender because emotions wouldn't be primed to boil. Instead, months of perceived double standards produce a combustible atmosphere where every bump is interpreted as intentional malice and every whistle is a potential powder keg. Carrington's basketball resume is impressive. Most improved shortlist, defensive win shares climbing, a knack for clutch steals. Sponsors once saw a feisty competitor ripe for endorsement, but search engines are unforgiving curators. Type her name now and the first page floods with dirty play compilations. Marketers, wary of negative associations, quietly pump the brakes. The league's glossy See Extraordinary campaign, intended to showcase groundbreaking talent, finds itself overshadowed by viral montages of officiating chaos. Brand strategists know perception is an investment. If trust erodes, they diversify elsewhere. One whistle has thus not only tipped a game, but potentially redirected streams of sponsorship dollars. History offers two forked paths for athletes branded as antagonists. Dennis Rodman leaned fully into the mayhem, but balanced it with relentless rebounding and championship rings, earning cult hero status. Ron Artest transformed through vulnerability, channeling aggression into mental health advocacy. Carrington now faces that decision point. Option 1. Issue a candid apology, commit to cleaner play, and invite cameras into a redemption arc. Option 2. Lean into the heel roll, own the booze, and hope controversy keeps her marketable. Each road carries risk. Absolution demands humility. Villainy demands unwavering thick skin. Fans will watch closely, because in modern sports, narrative U-turns sell almost as well as championships. For the WNBA, this flare-up functions as an unplanned stress test. Transparent officiating reports, mic'd-up replay center explanations, and a tiered suspension matrix could restore faith. Ignore the issue, and the credibility chasm widens. Expansion franchises, media rights negotiations, and a surging international audience all hinge on trust. Other leagues have survived similar crises by overhauling processes and communicating changes aggressively. The question isn't whether the WNBA can fix it, the blueprint exists. It's whether leadership grasps the urgency before next season's storylines are drowned out by whistle controversies. The most unsettling takeaway from the Hayes-Carrington spectacle is the audience's pleasure in obvious officiating error. That reaction signals fans no longer rely on the league systems to deliver fairness. Instead, they find satisfaction in cosmic randomness correcting human failure. While entertaining, this mindset corrodes the bedrock of competitive sport. If viewers decide arbitrary retribution offers more closure than rule enforcement, then every highlight spins through a filter of skepticism. Once that mindset embeds, reversing it demands extraordinary transparency and a long string of flawlessly called games, an almost impossible standard. Zoom out from reputations and emotions, and the ripple effect becomes painfully concrete. Playoff bonuses for Wings players may vanish. Coaches on expiring contracts lose negotiating leverage. Young athletes who dream of clutch moments watch footage of chaotic endings and wonder if training hours matter less than whistle luck. When a single incorrect call alters not just a scoreboard but a season's financial ecology, you've crossed from dramatic subplot into institutional crisis. Fans may forgive an occasional hiccup. What they can't accept is a pattern that flips livelihoods. Real justice in sports marries two elements: correct calls in real time and consistent disciplinary mechanisms when tempers run hot. The Hayes-Carrington whistle provided neither, yet fans still hailed it as righteousness. That paradox exposes a system out of alignment. Fixing it means officiating crews empowered with better angles, a league office prepared to levy swift, proportional penalties, and a culture that rewards physical intensity without flirting with reckless harm. Only then will a textbook over-the-back foul be whistled the same way, whether delivered to a fan favorite or the league's appointed antagonist. Carrington's on-court bravado has never hinted at vulnerability. Yet every athlete, no matter how combative, inhabits an inner world where confidence and doubt duel for control. In the 48 hours after the whistle heard round the league, insiders reported an eerie calm around the Wings practice facility. Carrington went through shooting drills in near silence, earbuds in, gaze fixed somewhere past the baseline. That may sound like routine focus, but veteran trainers will tell you silence can mask shock. A single officiating error cost her team a pivotal game and, more painfully, confirmed the fan narrative that she's the villain deserving of karmic punishment. Social feeds she might usually scroll for motivation are now minefields of ridicule. Every notification could be another meme of her wide-eyed disbelief frozen forever. Sports psychologists call this identity whiplash, when an athlete accustomed to controlling the storyline suddenly becomes a character in someone else's morality play. Recovering requires more than film study. It demands recalibrating self-image so external noise doesn't corrode internal belief. If Carrington can't flip that psychological switch, every whistle going forward might echo with hesitation. An extra half-step late on rotations, a subtle reluctance to contest shots, the kind of micro-hesitations that carve chasms in elite competition. And herein lies a truth fans often forget. Karma memes may feel righteous, but real human beings carry the weight. Whether the league supplies counseling resources, not just fines and flagrant reviews, could decide if Carrington rebounds as a reformed competitor or retreats behind thicker armor, doubling down on the persona that stirs this entire cycle. Fixing trust isn't merely a job for front office committees, it's a shared responsibility, stretching from corporate suites down to living room couches. Start with officials. Equip them with live feed tablet angles. Grant coaches one structured challenge per half with a 30-second limit to protect pacing, and publish next-day transparency reports that grade each critical call, so everyone, players, coaches, fans, sees accountability in black ink. Then tackle discipline. Introduce an escalating point system, think soccer's yellow card accumulation, where reckless fouls earn trackable demerits. Reach a threshold, you sit a game, no PR spin, no backroom rescissions. Pair that with mandatory off-court seminars on mindful aggression so physicality stays fierce but controlled. Finally, engage the fan base. Launch a weekly Behind the Whistle mini-series that deconstructs controversial plays with commentary from refs, players, and neutral analysts. Education breeds empathy. Once viewers understand how split-second mechanics and imperfect angles collide, conspiracy theories lose oxygen. The viewers themselves must shoulder a piece of the rebuild. cheer dazzling plays louder than cheap shot compilations, reward clean defense with viral love, and remember that booing officials is a tradition, but dehumanizing them collapses the system they're asked to uphold. If all parties lean in, league, teams, players, supporters, this flashpoint can become a blueprint. Because the real legacy of the Hayes-Carrington collision shouldn't be permanent cynicism. It should be the moment a growing league faced its credibility cliff, rallied every stakeholder, and built a sturdier bridge for seasons and stories to come. So, after 17 twists, turns, and hard truths, we're left with one inescapable question. Will the WNBA let a single phantom whistle define its narrative, or will it transform that controversy into a catalyst for transparent officiating and healthier competition? DiJonai Carrington's reputation may hang in the balance, Dallas's playoff fate may wobble, and league executives may feel the heat, but the bigger picture is ours to shape. If you felt karma finally clocked in for overtime, hammer instant karma into the chat. If you crave systematic fixes over cosmic payback, type build the bridge. Either way, mash like to amplify the conversation, share this deep dive with every hoops junkie in your circle, and subscribe, bell icon lit, so you're front row when the next whistle blows and another legacy tilts on its axis. In a league where every possession can pivot history, you don't want to miss the moment the story flips again.